What's up, you guys? Chet Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with another fascinating people and extraordinary stories. If you all did not catch up with me last time, the entire month of October, I interviewed a lot of people in the paranormal realm, ghost hunting, what have you, all that good stuff. Well, in that last interview I did, by the way, check out my interview with Larry and Denise. Awesome. They were featured on my ghost story. But for the month of November, you guys, I will be interviewing nothing but vloggers from here on this platform, YouTube. I will call it the rise of the vloggers. Unfortunately, tonight, if you did not keep up with my social media, Nola Deej, who's a very well-known YouTuber or vlogger, I should say, from the New Orleans area, he had some things come up. He was not able to make it, but I have an up and coming vlogger from the North Georgia area. He films the Zaney, the Out of This World. He's a food reviewer. He is a just an all-around awesome guy, and he's coming up on his first 1,000 subs. Everybody, I want to introduce to you all Mr. Nomad Ben.
Good to be here, Chet.
I'm glad you could make it too, Ben, especially on such short notice.
Dude, always for you. You're a great guy, man, a good friend too. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you're always there, man. You're always there for me on my end.
Yeah, man.
But since we're here, why don't you just explain a little bit about what you do? How did you, I guess, how do you, I guess what transpired to get where we are now in this interview?
So you basically want to tell my little life story in a snippet. So that'll kind of be a little powwow there, but we'll see what we can come up with. So I am Mr. Nomad Ben. So the name Nomad, which we all know the definition of a nomad is someone that goes place to place, but I am a local nomad per se. I do a lot of things locally in my town of Dalton, Georgia, where I'm living. I mean, I have the country accent, but I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, or Wheaton, Illinois, to be exact, the Warrenville area. So that's where Edwin Hubble from the guy that did the Hubble telescope. He's from that town of Wheaton. The John and Jim Belushi, the Saturday Night Live brothers, they're from that town, and football legend Reddy Grange is from that area too. So you had a few good legends from my little town of Wheaton and Warrenville area. So that's where I'm from. Then I made my way down to the Georgia area almost 10 years ago. And how I ended up here is that I met my wife, Lindsay, from the Disney company where we both interned at Walt Disney World in Florida in 2011. So, but I also went to college in Oklahoma, went to Oral Roberts University. So I've lived in Illinois, Oklahoma, Florida. When I moved down here, I moved to Georgia, and then I moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee, then back to Georgia. So I lived in like 5 different states before I was 26. So and I got a little bit of a nomad in that sense, but I've also been blessed to go on family vacations to see a lot of the United States, and I haven't been to all 50 of them. I think I've definitely surpassed the half. So I believe I've been over 30 states. So I might have to recount my states. It's been a while since I really sat down and thought about it, but I know I've seen more than 25. So I kind of like I've been to plenty of places, and I've lived in 5 different states. So I think I've achieved the nomad status, and I kind of like the mentality of them being nomad. So that's how I got the inspiration to become the name Nomad Ben. And Mr. came from one of my favorite vloggers. I haven't watched him in quite a while though. Paging Mr. Morrow, and they got inspired the name of Mr. from Paging Mr. Morrow. So Mr. Nomad Ben. So
I like that.
Yeah. And how I thought about becoming a YouTuber is like when I went to college originally, not just to do ministry stuff, but to also be in advertising or multimedia and stuff like that. But entering the real world, that was just kind of a very competitive time before, that's when social media and YouTube was a baby and all that. And it wasn't something you thought you could like really invest in, but now 10, 15 years later, everyone's being a content creator now. But but still, I never really do anything much with my passion of film and passion of like creativity and all that after, during, and after college, because the world kind of broke my heart a little bit of being completely realistic on things. I'm still am passionate about it, but looking back, I thought of like probably should have majored in something that's going to make me money and then have time to pursue my passions. But what I guess during the pandemic has really kind of threw me over the edge. Like, all I did in my 20s was work and, go on dates with my girlfriend, who's now currently my wife. So that's all I did was work, be with my girlfriend, and live around Georgia, and didn't really do much. And then I thought especially like during the pandemic, I'm watching all these vloggers. I've been watching Adam the Woo, one of the biggest inspirations. That reason why I picked up the camera, because I watch a lot of his vlogs in my mid 20s, but just on and off. I just thought he was a fun guy to watch. But during the pandemic, there was like, there's nothing really that great on TV anymore. There's some good stuff every once in a while, but I watch a lot of Adam's videos, and then the Tim Tracker, Jackie Super Enthused, and Paging Miss Tomorrow, Tampa J, like all these great people. And they have good hearts, and all they do is just go to places they love to do, whether it's Disney, Universal, or something in their own backyard. Adam was just someone who just goes to these historic places and great places to eat. And I really admired that about Adam. And I thought, like, what am I doing with my life? So I want to make a legacy and, and just get my creative outlet out. And I'm hearing my microphone. So I talk with my hands a lot. I'm part Italian, so they talk a lot with their hands. Well, anyway, I lost my train of thought. So I'm thinking, well, I would like to do something with my life, and thinking like I see all these landmarks around where I live in Georgia, a lot of Native American history, Civil War history. I know parts of Georgia has Revolutionary War history, even Tennessee does, and as I love history too, just like you, Chad. I may not be in depth about it like you are, but I enjoy history. I will enjoy good conversation about the past of our founding fathers and the greatness of our country, and so. Thinking, so like I noticed, like, Adam and Jacob and all these other guys, they go through here quite often, but they maybe in their older videos they've documented some stuff in Chattanooga. But I'm thinking, like, how come no one's doing this on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis? There's so much change happening down here, because like when I moved down here 10 years ago, like Dalton was just kind of a dry town. There's just not much to do, and then 10 years later, more things are opening up and better restaurants. There's 2 brewing companies in the small town, and like more things are doing just in this rural town coming about. And then Chattanooga grew, and I'm thinking, during this time when I'm contemplating of going to document it and just be inspired by Adam, all these other vloggers, I'm thinking I would love to document the changes and just be everyone's friend as much as I can. Just be that guy with the camera and have a good time. I go to the historic sites or go on the little nature walks and go eat some good food. I'm a big beer guy, so I like to review beer as well. So just whatever, really. I'm just taking time whenever I can. Maybe it's by random or I have a scheduled vlog. Basically just to be a guy with the camera and being your friend for the amount of time I post. So I love people, I love good conversation, and I want to take you along with me. That's kind of the premise of being a nomad of all that. So I don't still go place to place. My mind will never make up its mind. My mind goes place to place.
Yep.
So it's also it's a concept of mind other than the true definition. I do go place to place physically, but mentally too. I go to other places. So sometimes I just want to be home cooking something, or I go somewhere in my town. Like tomorrow, I'm actually going to do something for the open house. Like small businesses are doing their Christmas stuff, so I'll be documenting that.
Really?
So I did it last year, and I think I might make it a tradition to document stuff in my town of Dalton like that. So great way to support my little town. So just I'm sorry, I'm talking a long time. So,
oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
This is why, like I said, it's just all about hearing your story.
Yeah. So that's what I do, man. Just a guy with the camera and having a good time and bringing you along with me. So, yeah, man.
It's all about where you've been,
Man,
Nomad
Nomad
Ben.
Ben. And that song was actually written by my friends John and Eric. I don't know if I should say their last names live, but they are good, really good friends of mine. They're my college. Eric was my college roommate. John lived on my floor for a little bit, but then he ended up going to a different part on campus. But we still remained, walked and visited each other. But they came, he came by too. But him and Eric are good friends, and they both live in Texas. So. And they actually met up in Dallas where Eric lives, and they wrote that song in Texas and sent it to me. So yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome of them to write me an awesome theme song. And I would actually, I don't express it enough. Those guys, if it wasn't for them, I don't know how where my YouTube channel would be, because you just need a good theme song or
Yep.
something just like to get you to have a good hook. And I'm very grateful, not just the friendship, but their artistic thing to help me out with that channel. That was awesome. So, and a lot of people, anytime they associate me and my channel, they will bring up the song. So, yeah.
I mean, that's what I was saying. I mean, that's what kind of drew me to it. I mean, I know we did that collaboration back in, December of last year.
Yeah, almost a year ago,
Um,
brother. Yeah.
I mean, tell you the truth, not to take things off of you. By the way,
No,
everyone,
not us. Your show, dude.
I might be moving around a lot, but recently, my father, he had a few guys that he knew, or they're called Sustersic Home Services. They came in, completely put in new carpet. By the way, I rate them and recommend them if you are in the Bradley County, Cleveland area. Do check them out. I'll put it in a link here in the comment section, or not the comment section, but the detail section below. But kind of going back, I mean, I'm kind of thinking about doing something similar, like I call it Christmas staycation, and like what I want to do is stay like at every individual location that's in the state of Tennessee,
Mm,
like going no further than Nashville.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, just something. Speaking of the Christmas season, which we're already 2 months into it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to include August too, man. I mean, the people Christmas just seems like it's earlier and earlier all the time.
Yep.
So
I mean, I agree. Um, but since this is here, um, do you want to tell everyone about this? Your logo?
okay, so that was drawn by my friend. I'm not going to give you his real last name, but I will say his name is Alec, and he goes by the last name of Underhill. He is a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm not going to, again, that's not his real last name, but I call it, it was animated by my friend Alec Underhill. I asked, he likes graphic art, and I said, hey, you want to just doodle me like something for the channel? Because my show really needs a logo, and to describe the logo here is as Mr. Nomad Ben. So there's me. It looks like a pita wrap, which I don't think I've ever had a pita wrap before, but
Yeah.
it is also. But you kind of look closely, it's actually a beer foaming with the head foaming out of it. You can see the bubbles in the glass and the beer. So you could take it as a pita wrap if you want, or big beer that's overflowing with the foam. So of course my iconic hat and glasses. I usually whenever time I'm home or something like that, I might not do the hat or glasses. I might, you know, be free like this. But every time I'm really out and about, it's usually one or the other. So hat, so and then this. So um yeah, it's like that thing I tagged you and a bunch of YouTuber friends on Instagram when the Spirit Halloween
Oh yeah,
jokes.
son of a
I loved
gun.
it. Like that was such a great meme. Was to as a theme park vlogger. I'm like, yep, that's us. Like just
Yeah,
the normal attire with the camera and all that. So
I mean it's pretty spot on. I mean it's pretty stereotypical. I guess it's some kind of, I guess, weird trait that's all of us who are in this industry seem to acquire or
Mm-hmm.
adopt. But speaking of the hat, I did get a few photos,
Oh,
and I've already gone
you
through
got
it.
a little slideshow there.
There we go. Since we're
Yeah.
talking about this hat, um, if anyone has seen the video, well, Ben, I'm just going to let you tell the story behind this one.
Okay, so and I've there's a couple of images I've sent you. This is one of them. This is at the iconic, and me and Andy were there not too long ago at the historic Lake Winnie in Rossville, Georgia, Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it's a historic theme park that's built on the basically the border of the two states, but mostly in Rossville. Part of it's in Chattanooga, and they have a historic roller coaster called the Cannonball, and it's been around for like 55, 56 years, something like that. It's getting close to 60. The park's almost 100 years old.
Yep.
I was vlogging myself going down the roller coaster, and dummy me, I'm keeping it clean for the kids. So I don't cuss on any platform. Um, so I will. So this is not the hat. This is a kind of a different version of the hat. So that's one of my favorite hats. That is Mickey Mouse. The history of Mickey Mouse from like Steamboat Willie era up to present day Mickey, and it has like the names of all of them, of every Mickey there was. But I wore my hat, you know, going toward the G-force wind. I should have turned my hat around so I know my hat. I didn't even think about it. So I was just so excited to ride the Cannonball again because I haven't rode a roller coaster in ages. So I'm just going down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am totally documenting Lake Winnie for the people and just making memories. And I'm going down the historic Cannonball, and um, I didn't even think about putting my hat backwards. And if you guys do see the video, my hat, the hat's gone. So it blew off my head, and I didn't like. You'll see my reaction like as I'm going down screaming on the roller coaster, like oh my hat. So I went to guest services, tell them what happened, and they said they'll keep an eye out for it, and they never found it. Um, so I so during just in case though, I had a feeling they weren't going to find it right before I asked them. So as soon as I got off the ride, then I got my reaction going. I can't believe I lost my hat. Dang it. Um, so as soon as I got off, I went to Amazon and I was like history Mickey Mouse hat, and this was the closest one I could find, which I brought it on the show so I could show off because I had a feeling Chet was going to show off my
Yep.
this picture. So there's Steamboat Willie, historic Mickey. There's the current day Mickey, and then here's another Mickey there, and there's like the 30s or 20s Mickey there. Uh, Fantasia, and I'm not think there's Mickey Mouse Club. So yeah, so it's very similar to the hat, but a little different. But I'll take it. So yeah, I'll wear that hat every once in a while. I kind of switch off my hats. So yeah.
Hmm. Oh goodness. I was gonna say I remember watching this video. I was like, well, I guess he lost his hat. And
Yeah.
you almost lost your hat on the genie too.
I
Um,
did. I think I did. Yeah. The two hats that could have been gone. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, I'd probably say about close to 2 weeks ago, it was a group collaboration between Mr. Nomad Ben here, Andy's Journey, and I. And anyway, we rode an old school ride they call a genie. What the genie does is it spins you around really, really fast, and the centrifugal force keeps you from falling out. Then it slowly lifts you like
Yeah.
this. Anyway, that it's an older school and one, and well, I don't know. I hope they keep it, but anyway, I
Well,
digress.
which
Um,
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything, which I'm not, but I do. I have a friend that works at Lake Winnie. I actually have a lot. Some of my followers are from Lake Winnie, but we might be seeing some good stuff happening at Lake Winnie in the future. But that's all I'm going to say. So
really.
yeah, possibly, but hopefully it'll be good because I love that theme park. I want nothing to happen to that theme park. So yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's an icon.
I know you brought it up when we did that group collaboration, but what if Dolly Parton, were to make Lake Winnie, a part of the Dollywood chain,
Right, that'll be so great. I mean, she has Stone Mountain, like at least parts of it. So, and then you have Dollywood. So, I mean, I think it'll be a fantastic idea. I mean, I understand it's an old theme park, but it's a precious theme park,
Yep,
and I hate to see an icon like that go. It does it definitely. I see it with all love. I had my bachelor party at Lake Winnie. That's how much I love that place.
yep,
So, um, and plus it was easier. Plus, like Six Flags was a little farther away, and Lake Winnie was a lot closer. But I've always loved Lake Winnie even before I had the bachelor party there. So, um, but man, I just think it just needs just a little help from like a kind of a corporation. I know that's kind of a unorthodox and probably spark a political debate, which I'm not going to do that, but it kind of does need a little help. So I
yeah,
think Dolly's company could definitely help it a little bit. It gives the maintenance it needs, the right staff, and the food's fine. Keep the food the way it is, but
yep.
it just needs a little help. So that's just my opinion. But I love Lake Winnie. I'm going to continue documenting it whenever I can. So yeah.
I mean, like I said, I totally agree with that. But now there is one that I do want to, that you showed me, and it is this one right here. Just seeing a random guy screaming at this wall. Tell me what's going on here, Ben.
Okay, so this here is at the Berlin. This is a piece of the Berlin Wall. I'm not at the Berlin Wall in out in Europe, but no, this is a piece of the Berlin Wall in Dixon, Illinois. So that's the birth. It's the boyhood hometown of former President. May he rest in peace too, Ronald Reagan. So I go visit his boyhood home, which it wasn't open because I went during the pandemic and it was in Illinois, so even more fun, quote unquote. So, uh, so, but I was exploring the town, and the piece of Berlin Wall is right there, and that's me yelling at the Berlin Wall. And you could take it both ways because if you see I believe the clip with him going, "Tear down this wall,"
Yep,
the iconic Ronald Reagan saying that at the we
yep.
got to tear it down. And then like again, like how twisted my mind is sometimes, or that Family Guy when they were making fun of Ronald Reagan. And he goes to McDonald's and Steve thinks because he's losing it up in the head. So he thinks he's at the Berlin Wall, but he's actually outside of McDonald's. He goes, I say, tear down this wall. Reagan smash. Reagan smash. Reagan sleepy. so, so I just like two of my thoughts came to my mind when I did that. That's what tear down this wall. So so yeah, that's just me yelling at the piece of wall. So yeah.
I guess what was it like? I mean, I guess is it a museum or is it?
Okay, so it's kind of like a memorial area, if I remember, because it's been a while. Every once in a while, I'll go through my blogs and just kind of look through things. But I had to put this one into the slideshow because I knew we might have a couple fun discussions on that one. But um, if I remember right, it was just kind of in downtown Dixon, Illinois, and it was because it's not a really big town. It's definitely a small town, and there's the Ronald Reagan's homes like somewhere in the town, and then you walk down a few blocks and make your way down, and it's just it was part of it was there was like a little theater district and right by outside the theater, which where the wall should be, or at least in the same street where the theater should be in downtown Dixon. There was like there was some angel wings, and it had something to do with that. And then there was a piece of wall to kind of talk about the Berlin Wall. So there was just little snippets of Ronald Reagan history right there. So a lot of Dixon's is full of history, not just Ronald Reagan. I believe John Deere was found there, or at least
Really?
something to do with John Deere. And I believe the first Walgreens was at Dixon. So I could be a little wrong. It's been a while, so please don't. I'm taking with a grain of salt what I said, but I just know those two retail landscaping things have something to do with Dixon, Illinois. So because I'm kind of talking a little bit of whim here, but I remember something like that because there's a John Deere museum in Dixon. I didn't get the chance to go, but I have family in Dixon, so it'll be definitely something to look forward to when I come up back up to Illinois to visit. So then make my way, sneak away for an hour or two, and document more because I thought it was a cute little town. It was awesome. So love to go back to Dixon. Yeah.
Well, alrighty then. I mean, like I said, I mean, you know me. I mean, well, I've logged in about 5 states. So but you know, some of the north, like it's so weird. Like my whole life, I've never been well, correction, I have been to Pennsylvania once.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far north as I've ever been. I was 13 years old. But anyway, without further ado, let's go to this one.
Yes.
I
So
mean,
Sterling Holloway.
if anyone, well, if anyone doesn't know, Sterling Holloway was a very prolific character in the early days of Disney. I'm going
It
to leave it
is.
at that, and I'm going to let you talk about it more, Ben.
Okay, so that's in Cedartown, Georgia, and I love following celebrities and all that, and I just wanted to find. I know there's a lot of like bigger name celebrities in the Atlanta area, but I wanted to kind of focus on some like historic legends or just like maybe some just normal people in the entertainment industry, and I was just like going through. IMDb or Wikipedia. I read lots of Wikipedia, by the way. So I know that's not really the most reliable source when it comes to everything. I want to go. We will talk about that in a second. I'm going to go on shift gears, but same tangent of the conversation. But Wikipedia, I read a lot of Wikipedia. So does my grandfather, and I guess my parents were telling my grandpa in a conversation. They're like, Grandpa. Wikipedia is not really the most reliable source. And his response was this: well, they know more than I do. So, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, thank you, Grandpa. I agree with you there. That's why I read a lot of Wikipedia. So, I was just going through like some IMDb, and I was like, oh, maybe you look up Winnie the Pooh or some Disney legends, and so I saw Sterling Holloway, his film credits, and again, I'm exaggerating the parts of things, but then I saw he's from Cedartown, Georgia, and I'm like, okay, how far away is Cedartown, Georgia from Dalton? And it was like a little over an hour away, and I'm like, how can I not go document the town of a Disney legend, like not far from where I live? So I like during one of my off days of work, I went down there, and it's a nice little downtown, lots of history down there, not just Sterling Holloway, but some football legends are from there. And there's a few other things too. I can't really think of at the moment, but there's, if you see my vlog, there'll be more things I've captured when I was down there. So it's a historical little town, manufacturing history, football, and then you got Sterling Holloway, and he did the voice for Winnie the Pooh and various Disney characters. I think he was Friar Tuck in Robin Hood. I believe he was. I had to look through the IMDb. Yeah, maybe. I know it's kind of unorthodox, but I could probably look it up for you here. Just give me a second. Sterling Holloway voices. Let's see here.
According to Wikipedia, he was the voice of the Cheshire Cat in Alice.
Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Really?
Yep, he was Cheshire Cat. And none other than Cobb, the python from Jungle Book. He was the mouse of the Aristocats. He was this bunch of a bunch of voices. And he was also in The Little Mermaid as Scuttle, and um, he was Sleepy in Seven Dwarfs. I didn't know that. I just found that out just now. So cool. Obviously, he like as I just named off all these other these Disney characters you should know or hear, but there's more about it too. He was on Andy Griffith too. He was on Gilligan's Island. He was using a lot of things. So um, he's a legend. He's awesome. So yeah, I had to go check out this town and where he was from. So it,
I, I was just gonna say I'm kind of blown away by that. I mean, it's like I know he did a couple of things, but I didn't know like his credits were that long. I mean, that's impressive.
yeah, it will say in the little placard like what else he's done, but like that's just kind of a snippet. There was a lot of things that he's done, and he contributed a lot to Disney. So he is definitely an unsung hero in the Disney realm. So definitely that was one of my favorite adventures I've done. So
Hmm.
yeah, and plus I worked at Disney. As a matter of fact, I think I mentioned the beginning of the almost at the beginning of the vlog, beginning of the show. Um, like I met my wife at the Disney company. We both interned at Disney World in 2011. So I have a little bit of Disney history myself. So I worked there for 6 months as a custodial cast member, and I took some Disney University courses to get some college credit for ORU. I took corporate communications and creative innovation. So I did that to replace some classes I would have taken at ORU, but I took it at Disney, and then Disney communicated with the professors saying, "Hey, he doesn't need to take these particular classes. He took it here at the mouse company." So, so he doesn't need to be in your class. We taught him. So, so we got all that. So it was good. So I miss it. In many ways, I do miss working at Disney. So
I was gonna say that no, the mouse has given you that authority. But I mean, that just sounds cool. That's something I wish I had taken when I was younger. But oh well, you live, you learn.
yeah, man can dream. So
Yeah. But anyway, well, this
well,
is
let's
kind
talk.
of like I guess where the genesis where you and my relationship started.
I just had to put
Um,
that one in there. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's a little bit dark, but you can clearly see it because you're right here and I'm right there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm almost having well. Anyway, I'll let you talk about it.
Well, no, if I want to hear your perspective on some of these things, man, and not just don't just let me talk. So,
Okay. Well, anyway, but long story short, this was the collaboration or first collaboration that I ever did with Ben,
mm-hmm.
and we are at the world famous Rock City Enchanted Garden of Lights.
That's right.
And anyway, Ben here, he had a seasonal pass. We went in, and utterly fun. I mean, there for a while. I mean, it's like this was. I mean, no, this was like right after COVID happened.
Yeah,
And it's like, I thought, clearly, I thought, for sure, it was going to be cram packed, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
yeah,
Um, but I don't know, Ben, we'll have to, since we have more people that are a part of this merry bunch, we need to get you, me,
Andy.
Andy, Patrick, and Moonman.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll have to. We'll definitely try to assemble the event. Northwest
The
Georgia, Tennessee
Avengers.
Avengers. So, well, yeah, we'll definitely have to come up with something. I would love to do that again with you, and add more people to the group. And hey, speaking of another collaboration, dude, we have to one of these days we got to do the Sasquatch Museum, and I've been meaning to ask you to come with me. So.
Oh,
Uh,
dude.
yeah, I hate to put
It
you on the
is.
spot like that, but yeah.
No, it is so cool. I mean, I did it over the summer, but
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I will go back in a heartbeat. I love it that much. I will vlog it again. Like, I
Okay.
mean, it's like, I mean, the stuff that they have there, it's like it will make you a believer. It's like I think one of the things that I saw, it's like they've got I think it's like a 3 foot Bigfoot turd.
Oh yeah, I saw
Like,
that. Yeah, and some of the not just your vlogs, but other vlogs too. So yeah.
I mean, because I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Jacob the carpetbagger, he went down there and he that was one of the things that he filmed.
Hmm.
But I mean, just a lot of stuff that I mean, there's one really fascinating incident that I would like to just do as a video by itself. But it was called the Dahlonega. I think it was called like the Dahlonega incident, where it was a group of American soldiers. They were out on training. I forgot which army base is not that far from that area. But anyway, their plane goes down, and it's like in the remote parts of Dahlonega, Georgia, and they are attacked by these hominid-looking creatures.
Oh no.
And this is all recorded. This is not bullcrap. I mean, you can.
Right.
I mean, so it's like, oh, Paul's Adventures. Oh, he said I went there. Is that the same Paul? I think.
Yeah, that's the same Paul. Yeah.
Well, anyway, he said I went there. But by the way, how you do, Paul?
Hi,
Um,
Paul.
anyway, he commented I went there. But yeah, I mean, it's like if I could just find where that helicopter went down, and that would be a fun one to do.
Yeah, we could do that one together. Let's go to the Sasquatch Museum and head over to Delmonico. We'll do something.
Yeah, I'd like to. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll find Bigfoot.
Yeah, we'll find Bigfoot while we're at it.
Yeah, it's like
We'll do
you
the.
find Bigfoot, and then you forget to take the you forget the SD card.
No, no. And like I could wear my Adam the Woo T-shirt, and we could buy those Big the Foot air fresheners, and we could chant in the woods, Big the Foot, Big the Foot, and then
Yeah,
we'll find
yeah.
Bigfoot.
Long live Bigfoot.
Oh, I want Big the Foot.
Oh
So
goodness, Adam the Woo.
yeah.
God, that man. I met like I mean, I'll tell you, I met him. I met him at Dragon Con back in
So jealous,
October.
man. Yeah.
I mean, he is tall, and it's just like, oh, Love Our Life vlog says hello, my friends.
Hey,
What
what's up, buddy?
what's up, y'all? Looks like they have entered the chat. Awesome, awesome.
I might have to
Um,
actually. I'm only talking to you through the separate live, so I might have to open up the separate. Can you still see me? Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
I can see you.
Good deal. All right. I'm gonna have to. I just don't want any feedback. I could probably always mute the thing. So because if I could see the comments too.
Hmm.
Let's see here.
Some destinations won't get comments. Huh.
Let's see, because I don't want to get feedback on the live while I'm talking to you. But we'll see
Oh.
here.
I mean, I know it's possible because when I did a when I did a video with
Oh, there we go.
Ghost Biker Explorations, Miranda, she she could see the comments as well.
Okay.
But
Oh, good deal. Okay, good. I see it. I see the comments now. Cool. So yeah, I got it on a separate screen, so I'll probably alternate as we talk. So good deal. So cool.
but anyway, since we're on here, let's get. Actually, this is one of my favorite destinations. I have not vlogged this,
Yeah.
but it's well, Ben, I'll let you tell. Well, this is the world's largest set of Ten Commandments,
Hmm.
and it is out in North Carolina.
In Murphy, North
Ben, I
Carolina.
believe you vlogged it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you tell a little more about that story.
Okay, so I did a miniature two-part Murphy, North Carolina adventure during my Easter time, and um, so this was my last stop. I went to a downtown Murphy small town exploration, and then I made my way over there because I've always wanted to check it out for myself. I've seen a few other vloggers come here, and I don't live terribly far away, like 90 minutes, less than 2 hour drive, and And this is such an iconic thing. So I don't really talk about it much. I am a Christian, so I don't really go and have come to Jesus meetings on my YouTube channel or anything like that because I want to have fun, and not saying that Jesus isn't fun, but my channel's not really about Christianity or anything. My channel's about hanging out and having a good time. But I want to be real with my viewers and my subscribers, and I think of you guys as my friends. So I want to be real with you guys. Like, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and this was kind of my coming out moment as a Christian when I came to this place. So because I never really talked about my faith and my beliefs on my platform. I was doing this. This is when I was a little over 500 or getting over 500. I don't remember how many subscribers I had, but still, I just felt like after a certain amount of subscribes I had, and getting more people to watch, I'm like, I got to be a little more real with my people. So with my friends, my subscribers. So and I want to come here because I was going through a lot of going through some spiritual changes in my life and a character growth, because I have a 2-year-old now, and I'm trying to be a good father and a good husband and a better person and a better Christian. And I was going through a lot spiritually and emotionally during that time. I was going on a 40-day fast. I was doing something from Mardi Gras till Easter Sunday, and this is my Easter Sunday special. So going there was phenomenal. Not that I felt God there too, but it was a little more like, oh my God, I was blown away. Like someone took a piece of land in the mountains and just could take time to do this. I'm in awe every time I think about this. That's the Ten Commandments side. And then on the other side where I'm standing is a bunch of people. It's most of the United States, but they're all prayers and Bible verses. And there was even a baptismal pool on the other side too. So there was just a lot to take in religiously there, and especially if especially if you're Christian, it'll blow you away. Even if you're not a Christian, it's just something in an artistic point of view. It is freaking amazing. So it's something you could definitely appreciate. Maybe you don't believe in the stuff that I do, and that's fine. But at the same time, you kind of see that this is just, someone must be so passionate about Jesus, so passionate about what they believe in to build something like that. And then I have mad respect and I have mad love for that. And I would love to go because they said they do kind of like the crucifixion and resurrection passion plays or skits on Easter Sundays. Now that they're bringing them back, I would love to go there on Easter Sunday one of these years I documented my show. So they do that there too. So I'm definitely going to be coming back to there if there's any events going on, or definitely for the Easter Sunday special. I don't know when. I always say when I'm going to do things. I don't know when it's ever going to happen. I say it because I always want to tell myself I would love to go back. And I would love to go back. I would love to take my wife and my family there, and I would love to take my grandfather there because I know that him and my grandma would have fallen in love with that place. So, but I mean, I still am in awe about even talking about it. I'm tearing up thinking about it. So, yeah, man. So, but I did go to ORU, Oral Roberts University. I have my own. It's definitely something I'm not going to talk about on the my time there. I don't want to bring that up. But but in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they have a landmark on campus. It's called the Praying Hands. It's a big bronze hands of prayers, just like this. Just pretend this is a statue. That's it. So you think that was incredible? I mean, compared to this, but that was pretty cool. But this is just it's awesome. So yeah, I would love to go back. With the camera, without the camera. Um, it was pretty cool. Oh, I will bring up as when I was there, I did meet a YouTuber when I was out there. I think she's called the Hillbilly Kitchen. I believe
You Billy Kid.
I believe that yeah, I believe that's her name, but she has like over like 500K subscribers, and I met her out there, and we just I had no idea who she was, and she asked what I was doing. I told her I'm just a guy with the camera. I'm a YouTuber, and she goes, oh, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm the Hillbilly Kitchen. She does a lot of cooking. She's a cooking channel, so. Yeah, but her view count's like, oh my gosh! I saw some of her videos; they're pretty cool. So, yeah.
Dang. I'll have to look her up too. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I believe it's the Hillbilly Kitchen. So if I am wrong, I'll let you know off the show. So yeah.
Hmm. I remember. Well, I was gonna say I remember. I went to Fields of the Wood back in. Gosh, it was 2000. No, it was 2011. That's when I went.
Wow.
And I mean, we did do a sunrise Easter service. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I remember it's like after all that, after we had the breakfast, we walked like, it might not seem like a lot right there in the background, but that's got to be at least what 1,000 feet, like or 1,000, like 1,000 foot stairwell.
Hmm.
I mean, it takes a long time to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but it's a beautiful place out there nonetheless. Um, but anyway, yeah, just totally a moving place. Anyway, since since this is also another show that has become an icon,
Yes.
there is quite literally a Bob's Burgers that exists.
Yes. It did exist. So it's no longer. It's a rate. Well, that sign is still there, and I okay, so we're going to talk about Bob's Burgers, the real Bob's Burgers. So I'm going to say whoever's watching my show, not Chet's show, no, and my show too. This is not real Bob's Burgers. It's named Bob's Burgers. Disney does not own this, and neither did Fox. So um, I played along with this one because this was a very delicious burger joint in Dalton, Georgia, and but it was kind of in the most unrecognizable parts in Dalton. It's in the industrial district off a historic South Dixie Highway. So it's not really, it was just not really in a public area. It was kind of in a little gas station by a bunch of carpet mills and truck unloading areas. So then you get off of Connector 3 that way. So you weren't really far from that part either for Bob's Burgers. This Bob's Burgers, not the TV show, but I love the show. I thought the movie was fantastic, by the way. If you have not seen the Bob's Burgers movie or Bob's Burgers in general, the TV show, it is so funny. So it's original too.
Yep.
So some of the jokes are kind of getting dry. Yet again, it was everything's always good when it's an earlier season. As time goes on, it kind of gets a little dry or whatever. And I was kind of worried about Bob's Burgers movie when it came out, but then I loved it. It was far by like one of the better like original adult sitcom animation movies that I've seen. Simpsons movie was good too, but I think this was better than the Simpsons movie.
Yep.
But I wanted to play along when I became a content creator. And then I knew that the Bob's Burgers movie is coming out the next summer. I started content creating, or something like that. And then I was and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta do something about Bob's Burgers in Dalton, and then I'm gonna go see the movie and I'll review the movie, and then or something like that. And and then I found out this Bob's Burgers closed, and I was so sad because they had delicious burgers. My friend Brett and I would go get lunch there. I took Lindsay there one time on a date day. I know it's just kind of like a little hole in the wall restaurant, but it just had some delicious food, and the wings were fantastic. You know, they were open pretty early in the morning too, so they made breakfast. But when I was working third shift, I just wanted some chicken wings, and they were so nice enough. Instead of making me biscuits, they made me chicken wings at 6 a.m. So it was just so nice. But their food was good. I never tried their pizza, unfortunately. But I guess the story behind it is that the owner is just, you named it, Bob's Burgers. He had no one. He didn't even know the show existed, or
Oh, really?
or he didn't even think about the show or anything. I could be a little mucky about that part of the story. Again, I'm exaggerating and doing a lot of thinking about that, but I just, and I've had some people comments or even other forms of social media say, you got your, this is not the real Bob's Burgers. I'm like, okay, maybe I should just pin it in the comments that this is not really the Bob's Burgers based on the show, because it's not. It was just quite a coincidence that there was a restaurant in Dalton called Bob's Burgers, and the iconic TV show cartoon Bob's Burgers was out. So it had just nothing to do with the cartoon or the Disney company or anything. That's just the name of his restaurant in Dalton. That's it. And but I got the document inside it. It was just, all it is now is just little storage for beer and other things, but there was still, you can still see the kitchen in there, and they've also kind of converted parts of the restaurant into like those virtual casino things. Basically, you get free gas or whatever. So they got but still, like it's just like, this is like, a lot of people miss it too. And I talked to one of the workers there, and they said that he remembers, like, he was the only worker in Bob's Burgers. I don't blame him why it closed. And I bet you the pandemic had something to do with it. So, which it ruined a lot of things, but still, I miss the food. And they had the deep fried cheeseburger, which was the bomb.
God.
So it was, I loved it. So what I did to give homage to the burger, if you ever go watch my vlogs, anyone who's watching, I give homage to the deep fried cheeseburger. I went over to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar in Chattanooga off of Gun Barrel Road. Okay, sidebar, everyone. I'm not being paid to mention any of these names or anything, okay? I just love to eat. I will just tell you what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about food, movies, this. So I'm just letting you know, I am not being paid a cent to mention these places. I'm just telling you where they're at if you're ever visiting Tennessee. So, anyway, so I went there. They had this thing called the bad, so what's the clean version I could say? Bad Ace, instead of, we're going to ACE, which we're going to spell it the other way. So the Bad Ace Burger. So, but it's actually called Bad, what burger. So it has like deep fried bacon on the burger. So it was just as good as the original Bob's Burgers deep fried cheeseburger. So it was so I had to go over there and give homage to the deep fried cheeseburger, and then I saw the movie and I loved it. So and I gave everyone what my thoughts were about the movie and all that. So it was one of my favorite vlogs I've actually documented. So yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
Well,
Little burger history in Dalton. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know about a deep fried burger. That would kill my insides. It's like, when you get 30, it all goes downhill.
I know, everything all goes downhill after you hit 25 or 30. Yeah, you have to start taking better care of yourself. So
yeah. But speaking of Expedition Bigfoot,
yeah,
there is another Big the Foot.
Yeah, Big the Foot. So that is a little. But that does not little. It's a big foot. I was just kind of looking through the comments for a second. So it says, sounds like a Kyle clickbait video. I wasn't like, so I don't know what he meant by that. I guess something. I don't know, John. What is that? What do you mean? What sounded like a clickbait video? I wasn't reading the comments. So, do you know? Do you have an idea what he was talking about that?
I have no earthly idea.
Okay, it's okay. If he comments back, I'll switch over to the screen. But anyway, so yeah. Speaking of Expedition Bigfoot, so this is not in the Sasquatch Museum. That's in Blue Ridge. So this is in my town of Dalton, Georgia, where I live, And there's this awesome park. And Chet, I don't know if you've ever been there before, but I'd love to take you if you're ever around to go for a nice little walk. It's like a 3 mile walk or 3.5 mile walk around this water reservoir. They call it Hagmill Lake. And I know it's not the way it's sound, the way it's spelled is different. And the people of Dalton have corrected me on this. And it's what I mean is people of Dalton. I mean my wife, Lindsay, and I mean my father-in-law. And then everybody else that lives in Dalton. I try to explain my case about the name, and they're saying you're saying it wrong. So it's spelled Hagmill, like it spells like Hagmill, right? But no, it's Hagmill Lake, and that's what the people of Dalton like to call it, and that's what they've always called it for years. So, this is a water reservoir that converted into a little park, and there's a residential side where people live off the shores of the lake. They can do whatever they want. They could swim there, and they ride their sea-doos or jet skis back there, or go fishing. But then there's a little cutoff, a little channel cutoff that goes into the little public park area, and that's where I'm at. And again, I think Chet, you will love this place because there's definitely some rubble of a house, some fences, and there's
Really?
there's like I actually go off and explore that little part of the lake, and then that off the path. So, but as you are walking, you run into none other than Bigfoot out there. So, and as me, I'm wearing my Adam the Woo T-shirt to give homage to my inspiration, and also to Big the Foot. And so saw Bigfoot at Hagmill Lake, and he was quite a nice guy. He just stood there looking at you. So yeah.
Oh, God, that's crazy.
It's awesome.
I mean that's cool. I mean, it's like next time, I mean, I'll bring out my my metal detector and we'll see what's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, there's another spot that I need to take you out to. It's the remains of the Hooper Mill.
Ooh.
I mean, like, no joke. It's like I was back there in February, and like, no joke. Like, I mean, I was finding like a few nails, like in the road, like in the dirt. But right as I'm like leaving and about to hit the mud, my pants leg catches this, what I think is a part of an axe head or some piece of weird rusted metal, but it was a broken hoe, like
Oh.
a broken hoe piece. But probably come time in the winter, we'll have to do a metal detecting vlog.
No, yeah, that'll be a
But
lot of fun, man.
I mean, no telling what we'd find. But we
Oh yeah,
are sitting here.
because definitely a hag mill though, you would be amazed at what like I said, it will walk off, and then like it's remnants of an old house that's like just like destroyed right off the path, and then when you kind of walk around there's something kind of spongy as I was walking, and I'm like, what? Why is this ground spongy? And it turns out it's carpet that's like right there. So like they converted that area into the park, so I bet you it's kind of like they've kind of leveled out like old homes that they're pretty much decommissioned, and they kind of either flooded the lake or they've just added stuff to it to make it into a park. So, but it's an awesome park because when I grew up in Illinois, and off of between Wheaton and Warrenville, I live across the street from Herrick Lake. I actually documented it when I was back visiting my family. My childhood best friend, Michael. His name is Michael. I almost gave away his last name, but my friend Michael lives in Rockford, Illinois, but he came back to visit me where we all grew up. And me, Lindsay, Oliver, and Michael went for a walk at Herrick, just kind of reminiscing the times that we hung out there. And I went on walks around that lake just to go whenever time I need to go and think or pray or just to get away from school, my parents, my older sister. Like I just went over to Herrick. It was just right across the street, right across the busy street on Butterfield Road, Route 56 in Illinois, and there was the park, and it was just something awesome. And then I found out about Hagmill Lake when it opened up, and it's Herrick Lake on steroids. Then I'm like, I love Hagmill Lake. I try to go at least once a month or every other month, whenever I can. So it's just an awesome park just to just to breathe and enjoy. I'm a big body of water guy. I always have been. I love rivers. I love lakes. I'm not really a big ocean fan, matter of fact, but I don't mind a good ocean every once in a while. But I'm more of a lake and river person. So, oh yeah.
Well, anyway, we're kind of rounding down to this hour. Before we close out the interview, you have any words for upcoming vloggers that are, I wouldn't say necessarily in your position, but are just starting out or in their
Hmm.
first couple of hundred subs?
Yeah. Well, I would say, you just like you just keep on grinding and believe in yourself. I know, like there are times when I get discouraged, and I'll message some good friends that are in the vlogging, like maybe Chet or maybe the other guys, and I'll say, like guys, I'm feeling a little down, or um, like this and this, and it's always good to have a good group of friends, and not just in the vlogging community, but just like friends in general that encourages you to that believe in your dream and believe in you, and believe in yourself as you do this, because I mean, YouTube is definitely hard to get your name out there because it's a very oversaturated platform, but at the same time, it's just a great way to get your name and your voice out there, and um, just be creative wherever you're at. I know anybody can just get a camera and point and shoot, but if you find something you're passionate about and document it, and believe in yourself and believe in your content, and your viewers will see that in you. They'll see if you're in it for your creativity and your love for it, or they'll see it that you're in it for the money and trying to get the views and all that. So, there's nothing wrong trying to achieve those goals. There really isn't, because I got those goals I would like to achieve too. But at the same time, I'm not just really doing it so I could make the extra money or anything if I ever make it to the standards of YouTube, but I do it because I enjoy creating content. I enjoy people. I just enjoy life, and I would love to be your friend doing that. Uh, so I just say, believe in yourself, believe in your content, and be creative wherever you're at. If you're living somewhere like kind of in a rural area, like in Dalton or anything like that, like be creative. Like find something out that's happening in your town, and if there's any changes, like a new neighborhood development, or a new restaurant, or supporting the small businesses, just anything that that's going to just something, and then share it on your social medias or tell friends about it, and you'll be surprised who's going to watch it. And um just gotta say, just keep believing in yourself and believe in your content, and you just know that you can move forward from there, and just keep on grinding, keep posting whatever you can. I try my best to post something at least once a week. That's the minimum, but if I had more time, I probably would post more. But so I have my own life things I got to deal with here, being a husband and father, and I work full time too. So, this is my way to get my creative outlet out. That's just me, though. But everyone is different. That's all I got to say, though. So everyone's different how they present their content and how they do things. But be you, and be real, and be fun, be creative, and believe in yourself, and keep posting. That's all I got to say to kind of get you guys going. So, and then before you know it, you'll have subscribers, or even if you're not growing your subscribers, you're going to get the views, and people are going to like what you do. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. That's my encouragement.
All right. Well, thank you, Ben, and by the way, thank you for coming on tonight on such short notice.
No
Means a
problem,
lot.
man.
Anyway, everyone, I will put a link to Ben's channel in the links below. And anyway, we are going to go ahead and finish things out. Anyway, you guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome videos. I love you all very much. Without further ado, vlog over.